Level 100, a grave presentiment. Something weighs heavy on Thancred's mind.
The Ilzabard contingent have contained the threat on their front. Things appear to be under control for the time being. Though it remains unclear why the fissures opened up in the first place. According to Tataru, similar ruptures are occurring across the star.
One thing is clear, however. The phenomenon is not without pattern. The tendency for fissures to emerge is pronounced in regions deeply connected to the void. Places where the barrier between the two worlds is at its thinnest.
I fear there may be a place in far greater peril than Garlemald.
Mark.
Though it hath since been sealed, you will recall there is a great void gate that we ourselves had cause to open. A gate which was instrumental in our bid to reunite Vritra with his sister and put an end to Golbez's dark plot.
Oh gods. The moon.
With our attention fixed upon planar fissures, I failed to consider this vulnerability. All other paths unto the void are but pinpricks in the veil compared to that great lunar rift.
And that rift might be yawning open as we speak. We'd better hurry.
Let us make for Bestway's burrow. I dare say the Loporrits are well aware of current events.
We ought to have Kryl join us once she finishes tending to the wounded. I shall likewise contact Y'shtola. Her knowledge of the moon's void gate is second to none.
A number of my fellow Garleans now call Mare Lamentorum home. Alphino, Alize, please see they come to no harm.
We'll be back before you know it.
A quick word, if you will. I'm not sure whether you'll run into Zero during the course of all this, but if you do, would you give this to her? Emergency rations, in case of a protracted battle. Can't imagine she's eating all that well in the void. She likes dumplings.
Who doesn't?
We're doomed! Doomed, I say!
Given thy panicked state, I presume the Loporrits too are beset with void scent.
Oh, what sweet relief it is to see you all! Yes, void scent. And lots of them. They suddenly came pouring forth from the crater.
I had dearly hoped to find my worries unfounded.
For some unknown reason, the void gate seems to have partially opened. Living May dashed off to activate the brands and halt the Fiend's invasion. But she hasn't come back, and we've since lost contact.
I suggest we make for the brands without delay.
Okay. Where did it put us? Oh, okay. Well, we don't have far to go. I'll let the fight sound. Is it in top? Hitting them? Yeah. Nobody else is doing it at the moment. Wondering, I was like, why are there more? The valiant savior, I was so frightened I dared not move an elm. Oh, you're looking for Living Way. I think I saw her heading southwest towards the Drowning Brand. He had several slaughter bots in tow, but I worry they won't be enough for all the void set. You better hurry. Going. Okay.
I'm saved! I dread to think what would have befallen me if you hadn't intervened. Oh, I was never in any real danger, of course. I knew you would realize our plight and rush to our rescue. Atheris is likewise plagued with void scent. If only we'd prioritized further development of the void scent slaughter bots, we could have stemmed the tide ourselves. Oh, what a tremendous demonstration that would have been. Irrefutable proof that I was mankind's staunchest ally and the greatest lubberate to ever live. I can practically taste the praise. Fortunately, I was able to activate the brands. Should any more void scent emerge from the gate, they ought to be confined to the crater. Unless, of course, the void gate begins to expand of its own accord, or some gargantuan monstrosity tries to barge through. I don't foresee any major problems.
Flag.
Oh, nope. We're doomed.
There you are. I left the data in Shale's capable hands and teleported here as soon as I heard. And ere you ask, I made sure to bring the key with me.
Ah.
Then the real threat yet awaits us.
'Tis Golbez's domain beyond the Void Gate. I wonder how he and Zero are faring.
Uh-oh.
By the 12.
Behold the gift of ethos. Yours is a journey without end, conceived and guided by principle. Hold fast to what you must and meet your fate without fear. Go forth, discover, unite the stars unto one. Let none bar your path. Is that like, okay. Unite the stars. Is that like the shards? Isn't that what we were trying to keep them from doing for the whole first part of the story? They're headed your way. They're headed your way.
Let them come.
Let them come. Okay.
What are you doing here?
That's a good question. Visit felt long overdue. No time to explain. We like visits. Just popped in to say hi.
Only you could be so carefree amidst all this. May as well make yourself useful. The gate's sheer size appears to have made it a tempting target.
Enuo, a dread void scent risen from the benighted depths of the ocean. They kept to the confines of their domain while Zeromus endured. No longer, it would seem. And once they had discovered a path to the Red Moon, they wasted no time in making the journey.
Leave the void scent nearby to us. You take care of Enuo.
All right.
Facing this many foes calls for a more familiar approach.
Gonna go Reaper again. Yeah, I figured. Quick change.
Voidsent can change their form at will. Both light and darkness are mine to wield. Besides, what better to purge darkness from the void than darkness itself?
Who dares face me? A mere mortal. Hast thou come in search of power? Renown? I fight to end this world without end. All who stand before me shall fall.
Okay. The Unmaking, now accessible. Duty Finder has been updated to new regular duty. Okay, I guess we're gonna go in and see. Hopefully this wait won't take too long. Level 100, the Unmaking. Coined by the key on a gleaming golden path, you emerge onto the Red Moon into the midst of carnage. Your faithful allies of the 13th Zero and Golbez battle tirelessly to drive back hordes of void scent, all the while watched by a sinister form in the dark. Wielding the boundless power of the void, the dread sovereign Enuo has risen from depths unfathomable, intent on reducing all existence to still, silent nothingness. Will their bleak vision of the world unmade be realized, or will life and light prevail? Okay, it looks like we're okay with item level and everything. Less than 5 minutes, hopefully. Level 100, the Unmaking. Mints. All right, as usual, we're going in blind. Let's hope this goes well. Question, the Unmaking.
All who dare oppose me shall quake before the silken dark. The Void's power is mine to wield. Perish. Be still.
Okay. Oh.
Accept your downfall.
What am I supposed to do? Oh. Didn't know what I was supposed to do. I realized it would follow me. That's not the indicator they used to use for that. It used to be just little arrows. Okay, somebody heal me. I can't come in. Okay.
Doth the yawning rift not tempt you? The void consumes. Naught will endure. Neither past nor future. Only one certainty remains. You have no place here. Strong futile.
Okay.
I breached the darkness. Let the light guide you.
You must break free.
Okay, well, that's pretty neat. Ooh.
The underlings are no more. Now to deal with NOO.
Life and death rendered meaningless.
Light, protect us!
Ah.
I will not yield my domain!
Such is the power of the Void.
What we're supposed to do? Just wait? I guess, huh? Cool, cool.
The Void shall never cease to be. My power is absolute. The Void's power is mine to wield. And thus did all boundaries cease to be. Behold the truth of this world! Accept your downfall.
You know, I'm enjoying it. Like a lot going on, but to be expected.
Doth the yawning rift not tempt you? Be still. Perish. Doth the yawning rift not tempt you? Be still.
Oh, get away from me. Oh no.
And thus did all boundaries cease to be. This power is mine to wield. Perish. Behold the truth of this world!
Yay! That went mostly well.
They must be sealed away.
Much for the super boss. The healer who, I don't know if it's the one that res me or not, but all right, let's continue on.
I'm glad you came. We would have struggled to face Enuo alone. I presume you journeyed here to prevent more Void Scent from passing through the gate.
With Enuo defeated, there are none left in this realm who pose a serious threat. I dare say the problem is resolved.
Last, Void Sin have been emerging from fissures across the source. Have you noticed any abnormalities in the void of late?
Nothing comes to mind. Why'd you ask? So the breach wasn't limited to the Void Gate. For better or worse, precious little has changed in the 13th since Zeromus fell. Have you noticed anything unusual?
I know not the reason events have unfolded this way, but there is, perhaps, an explanation as to why the Void Gate and the fissures opened. Here, in my domain, even the slightest change is keenly felt. When the gate opened, I sensed not the workings of some external force. Rather, it felt as if the barrier between our worlds was weakening naturally, moment by moment, until the two came to meet.
And you think this weakening could be happening elsewhere?
'Tis a possibility.
What of Radzit Han and Garlemald? Eulus took mercy upon the interloper. Whether Void Sent or Guardian, we all share the same longing for home. Should we meet, I will gladly offer them aid. Please tell Euless as much. Wait, how exactly did you get here? No mortal could traverse the Void Gate in its current state.
Keys unlock doors, right?
And this path of yours is still there. I cannot see it.
Nor does it reveal itself to me. Perhaps the path serves only the key bearer.
So it is not a means to travel freely back and forth. A pity. I would have liked to see my friends again.
Now seems an opportune time to give Zero the parcel Euless prepared for her. Here's your dumplings. Probably gonna be it for those, huh? Usually not more than one patch. Something for me? Package of dumplings. That smell, food, is it? I recall Euless speaking of the dumplings his mother used to make. Thank you for the parcel and fond memories. It's more than enough to share with Golbez. Now that he forgoes the ether of others, I'm sure he'll appreciate the sustenance. I sometimes wonder what the Void would be like if culinary traditions flourished here once more, whether it would suffice to break the cycle of mutual consumption, a heartening thought if nothing else. Level 100, a grave presentiment, complete. Level 100, a beacon from beyond. Zero has something to discuss with you. Till our battle earlier, I hadn't called upon darkness in some time. In truth, I find light a better fit these days. Ever since you left, we've been roaming the void in search of individuals who would join our cause. We're gonna go find Malphus? Although we returned to the Red Moon after sensing Inuo's presence, rarely do we linger in a single location. However, if the interloper you spoke of does intend to seek me out, it might be wise to return to my domain. Why don't you join us? With Inuo defeated, the source should be in no imminent danger. Good, we'll wait for you by the crater. It sounded like the worlds were merging, which is kind of what the voice had told us to do. Which seems like that's we spent like. Can I not use a mount? Guess we don't have to go that far. Aren't we trying to keep the worlds from being merged? I guess there's going to be a different way to do it. There's a teleporter situated between here and the center of the moon. I used it to travel to the surface in days long past, though I seldom had need once my generals were in place. Igiorm herself crafted the device, so I might lay low the Servant of Light. Ironic that we now use it seeking to restore light void. Ah, forgive my idle reminiscence. 'Tis time we made our descent. Travel to Zero's domain via the teleporter, yes. Though it was not always so, many who live here now have chosen to do so because they support the cause. Indeed, if our numbers continue to grow, we may require more territory. Thankfully, we were able to harness the residual ether from Barbaricia's domain. Those reserves will enable me to expend mine as the need arises. Right, we had best prepare for our potential guests. Join me in my abode when you're ready. Guess they give us a moment to talk to everybody if we want to. See what Golbez has to say, at least. There are many in this domain who still fear me. I shall remain here to avoid needless provocation. Probably a good idea. Yeah, so this is like where we came during the post-Endwalker stories, right? Dealing with the 13th. I imagine you remember these, the transmitters we used to receive light from the first. Memory serves, they work by channeling excess ether left in the wake of the flood into the crystal tower. Using the tower's cross-rift travel capabilities, light is then conveyed onto the 13th and into these devices. I have a mind to use them now, but they'll need to be set in an elevated location. Your assistance would be greatly appreciated. We fly here? We cannot.
Upon activation, these transmitters will shine with light from beyond, sent courtesy of our ever-watchful friends. They will serve as beacons in the dark for those that would seek me out.
Yep, you're good.
Immortal no less. I did not expect to see you
here. Yep, I just think you're both.
Zero, and this is my domain. 'Tis a safe haven for those who abhor conflict. Among those gathered here, many aspire to restore this world to how it once was.
Such a thing is possible.
Indeed. Though how long the endeavor will take, I cannot say. But for those of us abandoned by death itself, what do we have but time to try, and try again?
Very well. This light is ample proof your comrade spoke true. However long it takes to restore our world, You shall have my aid.
And you shall have mine.
It would seem Julius's intervention has helped forge a new bond. Thank you for bringing word to me. Gather you'll head home sooner rather than later. You will not be able to freely return to Zero's domain. Are you certain you wish to leave? If that's all we need to do, then yeah, okay. And let us return to the Red Moon. I'm sure you won't begrudge me a proper farewell. Yeah, we don't need to go talk to everybody. That's fine.
Would you deliver a message to Eulus for me? Tell him that we're making progress towards rebuilding our home. And I hope that he is too.
Enuo's Memoria will be safe here. The crystal containing Zeromus has been passed on to our allies in the First. If Enuo's Memoria might serve them in restoring their world, we shall likewise consider its transfer.
How much simpler it would be to aid one another in our respective fights, were it not for these boundaries between us. Safe travels, my friend. We take comfort in the knowledge that you're out there fighting too, wherever you may be.
No luck, I'm afraid. It appears she's not in Mare Lamentorum.
Just up and disappeared.
Wait. Is that...
Heyo.
God, you had us worried. You suddenly disappeared. We didn't know what to think.
Shortly after you vanished, the Void-Sent incursion abruptly ended. We surmised you had a hand in that, but never did it cross our minds that you were fighting alongside Zero and Golbez.
This golden path you said you traversed wasn't visible to us either. Nor did we hear a voice. Ethos. Might this be the key's true name?
While many mysteries remain, for now, I am glad to learn the state of affairs in the 13th. Golbez's suspicion that the barrier twixt worlds has begun to weaken. 'Twould certainly explain the surge in fissures manifesting in the source.
Yet what could be behind such a phenomenon?
Uh-oh. The villains.
And who might you be? Not her Void-Sent, I'd wager.
Always ready to dance when he sees a lady, huh?
Greetings. I am Helmarut of the Asians. We are your sworn foes, I know. But on this occasion, will you not put away your arms? I wish only to talk. Thank you for affording me a chance. Bereft of the Unsundered, we were under the impression you and yours no longer had cause to continue your activities. That you should reveal yourself at this juncture. I assume you are the one who bestowed Calyx with the knowledge of summoning and the reflections. Yes, that is correct.
Was it necessary to reveal my present form as well?
Calyx. So he succeeded in transferring his memories after all.
Be at ease. Even were I to occupy a combat-oriented vessel, I would not have the ability to defeat you. You destroyed my plan, my life's work. I have naught to replace it, nor will I ever regain what I once had.
If you wish to speak, Helmarut, will you not tell us what it is that you hope to accomplish?
As you know, our star Aetheris was sundered into 4 and 10 shards in the time of the Ancients. As the will of the star, Hydaelyn perpetuated this unnatural division for millennia. And in the wake of her passing, nature has begun to reassert itself. As a wound knits itself together, the star seeks to become whole once more. Yes, it seeks to rejoin with all of its shards. Unlike the one we Asians attempted to orchestrate, however, the star's rejoining will afford mankind no special treatment. All life and matter will be condensed into a single whole and remade for a new beginning. A complete rebirth. Aetheris will return to the way it once was. Hundreds of millions of years past. To a quiet and peaceful time. Long before the light of mankind was kindled.
Supposing for a moment we believe you, how can you possibly know all this?
It is an inevitability that I have foreseen since time immemorial. A future that awaits should creation be freed from the influence of Hydaelyn and Zodiark. The star is tolerant to life. It holds no grudges, and neither rages nor weeps for being sundered. Yet by the same token, it is indifferent to life's survival. No amount of devastation and death can compel it to stop the wheels of creation from turning. The earth shakes, and mountains spew fire. Floods wash away the fruits of labor, and icy winds freeze and starve. Countless perish as nature runs its course. So many seeds of life have already been lost, yet in spite of this, people continue to believe that the morrow will come. But it will not. For nothing lies beyond the solstice, when all creation is reunited. When that day comes, every last trace of mankind shall be erased. I cherish man's journey. Despite losing his innocence and being made to live with suffering, he has forged ever onward. Strong, even as he is weak, his is a proud tale in the history of the star. It would be a shame for that tale to end. For all to wither and die, when some might yet survive. Would you not agree?
If a natural rejoining doth lead unto the solstice, then thine intent is to preemptively rejoin the worlds.
Same old song and dance.
Correct. It was for this very purpose that Halmarut recruited suitable collaborators from the Reflections. Individuals like me, who would willingly doom another world in order to fulfill their aspirations. The Winterers, we are called. And if you and yours seek to protect all life, then sooner or later you shall have to contend with us.
Even if everything you claim is true, what you've done, Calyx, it's unforgivable!
I do not ask that you be pragmatic, nor do I seek your approval. Given your familiarity with other reflections, 'tis only natural that you are averse to our methods. But there is one irrefutable fact that you must understand. Should we take no action at all, the solstice will come, and no one will be left alive. No one. Of course, should it serve to satisfy your ambition, you are welcome to deal with the reflections as you deem fit.
Xenos.
Like the pariah and wanderer who satisfied his own when he brought the star to the brink of ruin to face you.
Wait!
We knew there were more Asians. Like, we saw a bunch when they did that, like, original thing and, like, way back in, like, A Realm Reborn or Heaven's Word or something. There you are. One moment you were standing before me, and the next you'd vanished into thin air. Thanks to you all, the voids that have been eradicated, and the gate lies sealed once more. There's been nary a peep from the crater. I can't help but notice none of you seem to share my enthusiasm. Is something wrong? Yeah, you all seem pretty bummed out. Star seeks to become whole. But that's preposterous. As far as I'm aware, Hydaelyn made no mention of a natural rejoining. I ought to consult the records to be certain. Now, before thanking you for dispatching the void scent so handily, you well and truly saved the day. 100, a beacon from beyond. Have any of these? Complete. Level 100, Trail to the Heaven. Alphanol continues to grapple with Halmarut's disclosure. The implications of the solstice and the Winterer's schemes, as well as our approach moving forward, will take time to consider. To that end, I believe we should gather and speak in person. By we, I mean all our fellow Scions. Oh yeah, they did show the Rising Stones in the preview, didn't they? And for a change of pace, why don't we convene at the Rising Stones? I'm sure Tataru and the others would be happy to meet us there. At least they don't make us go to the Waking Sands. Fine idea. In many ways, our return is long overdue. I doubt we could all use some respite after Garlemald, but I trust there are no objections. It's settled then. To the Rising Stones. Off to more donuts. That month's here. All of the Zeta weapons on free trial. This one? Everything has changed since we last gathered here. No doubt Tataru is chiefly responsible for the prevailing state of tidiness. Speaking of whom, she and a great many of our comrades are en route. Let us wait for them a while longer. Get the band back together. Corey Boulder coming.
Long it hath been since last we gathered here. Though our order's dissolution was indeed in name only, thereafter we did largely operate independent of one another. All of which is to say, full glad am I to stand in such esteemed company once more.
Apologies for our delay.
Yeah.
We're reporting for duty, as bid.
This is everyone that we could round up on short notice. The others are still en route. Estinian alone we weren't able to make contact with. But we're working on it.
No doubt his link pearl is buried at the bottom of his bag.
Knowing him, he'll turn up when we least expect it.
Now, as much as I'd like to savor our reunion, Tataru tells us there have been developments. Will you apprise us of the details? The Winterers and the Solstice.
The veracity of Halmarut's claims remains unclear. Yet it cannot be denied that, in his bid to convert the living into endless, Calyx was privy to knowledge of the reflections and more.
And the Winterers are formed of others, like him.
In light of the recent Void Sense incursions, I believe it would be wise to treat the Solstice as a genuine threat. The problem is how to deal with it.
Both the source and the reflections are home to irreplaceable life. I would protect them all if I could. But if doing so means ushering in complete annihilation, then what can we possibly do?
I wonder, was Hydaelyn aware of the solstice?
Given that we had no knowledge of it when you journeyed to Elpis, you couldn't have warned Venar. So it is entirely possible she was unaware. But in the course of sustaining the Sundered Star, she may have glimpsed this eventuality.
I don't think she had any way of knowing. I think she knew and chose to trust in us. I don't think she had any way of knowing.
Indeed. Not even Hydaelyn could be expected to foresee everything. And with her gone, we have only speculation.
Whichever it may be, it is we who must find the answer. We who live in the here and now.
Perhaps we could take a recess? Oh, I dare say everyone could use a rest.
Indeed. We have ample food for thought, and it would be good to catch each other up.
Ere I forget, hereon, I believe you should keep the key, Ethos, in your possession. After all, it seems that is one mystery I am not destined to unravel.
Get to talk to everybody. Poker Boulder. Aenor and I were training in Gridania when Void Sin attacked the Twelves Wood. Thankfully, we were able to fend them off with the help of the Twin Adders. When I heard the invasion had already spread across the star, I realized the gravity of the situation and ordered a confidential report sent to the other Scions. That's why Tataru was so quickly apprised. Thanks to you, we were able to make haste for Garlemald. While circumstance and duty may keep us apart, we remain bound by common purpose. Indeed, may that purpose continue to guide us now that we stand together once again. Corey Boulder. Coltonay and I remained in Corvos to monitor the situation among the Garleans and the Corvosi. Seldom smooth sailing, and in time the region settled and we were able to return. I understand the Garlean community has made great strides in improving relations with other peoples. Hearing that, I feel renewed zeal for resolving the issues in Corvos. Perhaps you'd like to hear more about the Garleans' accomplishments from me and the twins. I might stoke that fire even hotter. It was by no means an easy decision, but as the solstice is now our paramount concern, Alizé and I have opted to formally withdraw our efforts in Garlemald. Well, anything we can do to protect our world will also serve to keep the Garleans safe. Julius and his comrades are already working towards a brighter future of their own accord. Honestly, I'm more worried about us. So difficult to see a path ahead, but hopefully we can get through this and return to Garlemald with our heads held high. One day. Okay. Indeed, in the meantime, let us prepare a letter for Julius and the community. We mustn't let despair stay our hand. After Urianger and I went off on our own, we decided to spend some time exploring Jacques Tarral. We never had the chance to visit during the Rite of Succession, you see. We journeyed east through Lozenhete before heading up the coast to the frigid northern reaches where they revere a storied beast of the sea. The excursion only served to reinforce just how diverse Tarral really is. I also met with the Wallachie. Though we had not the time to study their arts at length, we were privy to several intriguing demonstrations. Oh, blue magic? That we could have indulged our curiosity further and traveled to yet more distant lands. For better or for worse, pragmatism tempered our wanderlust. Suffice to say, we still have plenty to see of the continent. I should very much like to return, given the chance. Judging by your guides, Clements, your studies must have been productive. Indeed, I have more or less mastered the fundamental principles of Charlayan astrology. At one point I considered exploring other healing arts, but decided to persevere with more focused training to better leverage my skills on the battlefield. I don't think I'd be much use on a battlefield these days. I can scarcely hold my bow steady, let alone hit a target. So sorely bereft of brotherly ministrations as I am. I knew you still required constant supervision. You two haven't changed in the slightest. It makes me wonder how our colleagues that couldn't join us today are faring. This is it, huh? Seems everyone has much and more to discuss with one another. Anyway, you're overdue for a proper break. Peace and quiet will help you think. Feel free to make yourself comfortable in Dawn's respite. Level 100, Trail to the Heavens, complete. Quest complete. A little teaser.
Of course, should it serve to satisfy your ambition, you are welcome to deal with the reflections as you deem fit. Like the pariah and wanderer who satisfied his own when he brought the star to the brink of ruin to face you.
I detest evenings such as this.
Uh-oh.
Too bright, too stimulating. The mind distracted by the inconsequential. You needn't be so wary. I merely come to offer information before my departure. Halmarut and I will soon cross the rift to observe the enactment of another Winter's plan. Our destination is the fourth. A world locked in ice.
Oh, is that where we're going?
Whose lands are blanketed in thick clouds. In order to survive, man has fled to the skies, using great magics to establish new civilizations.
That sounds exciting. Well, tell me where you're going. It does sound exciting.
It was not my intent to excite. I have my own designs I would see realized, nothing more. Believe me or don't, as you like. For all I know, you lack the means to follow us anyway. What Halmarut said to you earlier. She suggested that dealing with the reflections might satisfy your ambition. But is that truly so? You have seen battles beyond counting, have defeated even the fear of death. Is there some conclusion that you seek, no matter the cost? I will share with you a truth. We Winterers each have an ambition that we wish to fulfill. To that end, we may share information with one another, but we do not necessarily share the same beliefs. Just as you and yours decried my actions, I find those of my fellows objectionable. Be that as it may, it is the culmination of our lives' works that we would bring to the world, fruits born of undying devotion, daring aspiration, and unwavering ideals. No matter how we are reviled, no matter what we must steal, our actions will be vindicated by those who abide in the future we create. In your benevolence, you may seek to save everything and everyone. But once all is consequently consigned to oblivion, your noble deeds will amount to nothing more than folly. For no living soul shall remain to judge them.
Shattered stars are doomed to mend. How turns the key to winter's end? Trail to the heaven. Okay, well, that's it till 7.55, so see you then.